Odisu Kamal joins us now to shed some light on this matter. He's Executive Chairman, Muslim Public Affairs. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, we'll have different response, both from government, public, private sector, about this kinds of matter. But given the comments that have made the rounds and how different governments have responded on this one, even the police now saying we're going to investigate this matter. What would your impression be in terms of how we're reacting to this matter as a country?
Well, it's actually quite good to listen to the governor of Bayelsa State stating very clearly on national TV that this issue is purely a law enforcement issue. It is quite encouraging to hear a political leader actually stating that categorically, and that is also, I hope it's becoming the pattern that other thought leaders will actually
do you align with that?
Absolutely, I actually agree with him that it is. However, I think on the flip side of the issue is the fact that especially the media, and especially online media as well, they've actually been exploiting this issue to the detriment of the people involved, the girl specifically, as well as her parents. I think Ese is having a teeth pulled out at the moment, and a lot of people actually benefiting from the pains.
So maybe you should tell us more. Are you talking about protecting her, protecting Ese further against some kind of trauma in the future on what she's going through, or maybe expatiate more on that? Okay,
really, I think I'm actually looking forward to see this issue closed out as quickly as possible. We can bring closure to the issue when all the factors that actually brought about the issue in the first place, we get to the root causes, we understand exactly what happened, because things are a little bit with the barrage of information as well as possibly deliberate misinformation that are being beamed out. It is difficult to actually pinpoint the exact causes of this. Once we are able to ascertain those, I hope we can move on to the next phase of actually closing it out. Not only specifically for this case, but we have to look at it holistically. In Nigeria, I think we really need to understand, put things in their correct perspective, and understand that we hold true responsibility to protect young people. We can see that in the civil society action and advocacy in respect to the Chibok girls, but we really need to scale that up. I'll give you a typical example. In the US, for instance, they have what is called a National Missing Person Switchboard, where people can actually just call in as a parent. A child is actually declared missing depending on the age after a particular number of hours since she's physically missing. Yeah, she's last seen. So that did not happen in this case, as far as I know from the reports that were actually read in the papers as well as heard on the news. And also, you have to take it back to the fact that this issue probably happened about 5-6 months ago, and in an organized system, in a sane society, you would expect that the first point of call for the parent would be the law enforcement agency in the first place. Not to the mosque, not to the church, not to the media. That should come in later, but the first point of call is to actually report. In the UK, they have the same system where you can actually call the missing person helpline, and then you can actually report these, and they can actually just press the button, and a set of actions actually take place. Because, like I said, we need actually to keep our eyes on the ball. As far as I'm concerned on this particular issue, the only interest for me is the interest of the girl. That's what is most important. And as parent, I'm a parent myself. I have teenagers as kids, and as a Nigerian, as a leader of an Islamic organization, the prime concern for me is to see that this right and the interest of the child is actually protected.
Let me ask you a question about something you said earlier about Ese having her teeth pulled out and those around benefiting from her pains. Is it possible to explain that? Because this Ese story has also thrown up some other stories, like the one in Sokoto, about a girl, a 14-year-old girl abducted also, allegedly abducted in Sokoto, and another one in, I think, Borno, or Nupe and all of that. So can you just throw more light on that statement you made?
Okay, yeah. You see, as sad as this particular case is, we really need to put it in its proper context. What we have on our hands at the moment is not an epidemic of, children going missing, It is possibly an isolated case. It happened about 4 or 5 months ago. Why is it just coming up now? And suddenly all Nigerians have become concerned, they've become selfless, they become caring, and then you start to wonder, where is their care, where is their concern, where is their interest, when possibly other grievous issues, happen around us, and they happen every day. They happen every day. A girl of almost the same age as Ese, about 3-4 years ago, was abused, and you have even in other parts of the country where, children are hunted down and they say, look, they accuse them of witchcraft, and they burn them, they abuse them. It takes at times intervention of foreign bodies, foreign organizations, foreign media to actually excite or generate public outcry. So why is it that suddenly we have this outburst of emotion from these concerned individuals that are going everywhere, putting stick in our faces and in our eyes?
They shouldn't focus on it?
No, I've not said that. You see, I'm just saying that we have to understand and deal with it in its proper perspective. And I'll give you an example. In India, there are about 47 missing persons per year, 47 million missing teenagers per year. Most of these are as a result of, lovers running away, eloping together, as possibly is the case with Ese. In China, they have about 1.5 million children missing yearly. So we really have to understand it and contextualize it. It's not a good thing, and we have to address it.
In contextualizing this, don't you think her own case is particularly different because she's a minor?
No, that is the way it's been scripted and constructed. No, that is the point I've just made. In those cases, in those examples I've given, they're all minors. In India, in the US, in China, they are all minors. People below a certain age that are considered to be minors. They're all minors. There's no difference whatsoever to this particular case. But the difference in this case is that suddenly, everybody seemed to be concerned in a way that actually put things out of...
Shouldn't they be concerned?
They should.
So how
and I'm concerned, but what I'm saying is that they're actually benefiting from it. How? Not necessarily because they are, want to address this issue. It's not like it's a scourge. We had Ebola issue in this country. We had other issues, and everybody was onto that.
Everybody was concerned as well.
Yeah.
But this how are they benefiting from this case?
Because of this attention. Because I was in Abuja yesterday, for instance. I'll give you a particular example, and the driver that actually took me from the airport to where I was going, I would just put on the radio, and suddenly I heard this amazing story and conspiracy theory about all these issues. It drives attention to these radio stations. They may be obscure before this incident happened. But suddenly, because they are now showing that they have passion for this public concern, suddenly everybody is listening to that. That's one way of actually benefiting from that.
I try to get to feel what you're trying to tell us, but if you look at it going forward, you say your concern is about Ese, and Ese is going to live beyond this problem. Perhaps maybe we should be looking at how best we've been able to handle this. Have we done it in a way that could mean her being ostracized by some people around her community, or cause her more pain by the manner which we have even exposed her? Should we have done it in a more discreet way and also achieve this result?
Absolutely, I agree with you flat out. That is the exact point I was trying to make. When a child is involved in this kind of issue, you don't put camera in her face, you don't put microphone in her hand and start asking her questions that in the state of mind she is, she's simply incapable of actually understanding the question in the first place, or be able to understand the type of answer she has to give. We need to protect her. we need to isolate her and possibly engage her with a child psychologist that will actually understand our state of mind, dissect our condition, and be able to provide intelligent solutions to that. But we haven't done that. I mean, it's like everybody's actually having a field day regarding what to be seen as somebody who is a strong advocate for child rights.